Good Sunday afternoon, everybody. Thanks for stopping by Garden State Weather and gardenstateweather.blogspot.com, your source for continual weather information 24 hours a day for the northern mid-Atlantic region, specifically northern New Jersey, New York City, the lower Hudson Valley, and the Philadelphia metropolitan region. This is the video forecast discussion for Sunday, looking ahead to a very active weather pattern still yet to come after we just finished up with a pretty major snow and ice event on Saturday night and Sunday morning here, and we've got lots of precipitation events on the way as we head down through Christmas time. First, I want to go back and review a couple of things here. This is the current modeled snow depth as of late this morning, early this afternoon. This is after all of the events that we've had over the last 24 hours. And we're showing basically here along southern Connecticut, we went from basically a trace to 2 inches. Interior near Norwich, we had anywhere from 2 to 4 inches. And this extended all the way down through the southern shores of Connecticut and then into Yonkers and into the city. New York City recorded about 5 inches of snow. So this line in here, the lighter pinks in here, magenta actually, between 4 and 8 inches. Then you went further inland towards Paterson, anywhere from 8 to 12 inches. This is the snow depth that's on the ground. This is not the snow that has all fallen across the area. This is the snow depth that's left on the ground after the past couple of storms up to this date. And we can see we have quite a bit of snowpack now across most of the region, excepting the central and coastal regions where there's absolutely nothing here, and that's the result of very warm air and low elevation as well. Lots of cumulus clouds here, cold air advection riding over the tops of the ridges here, and we can see where the striations are in the clouds here. That is actual snow that's on the ground and that the satellite is able to pick up. So there's quite a bit of mountain ridges in here that is showing up with a lot of snowpack as the clouds are moving across the region. Now, not all areas this afternoon are completely cloudy. In fact, most of them are mostly sunny, but there are scattered clouds across the region as a result of all this northwest wind. And obviously the darker striations here are the actual snowpack that's on the ground that the satellite can pick up. Lots of dry air in the mid and upper levels of the atmosphere, but we still have moisture coming in from off the Great Lakes, and we still see that in the water vapor channel as well. And we also can see that on radar as precipitation is riding both off the Lakes Erie and Lake Ontario. This is what's left of our storm now as it makes its way out into Atlantic Canada. And we still have more precipitation as another clipper comes across, and we'll discuss that in just a moment. Latest 500 millibar analysis off the RAP model and the water vapor included. Lots of dry air in the mid and upper levels of the atmosphere after that storm system exited off the east coast. This is what's left of it now moving into Atlantic Canada. We still have an upper low south of Hudson's Bay here, and this has a couple of vortexes around it, so there's quite a bit of unstable cold air moving over the lakes, and that's enhancing the feed with the snow plumes off of Lake Erie and Lake Ontario this afternoon. Most of that is away from our area, but we're getting some of the debris clouds from that as well. This disturbance here, diving down through the upper Midwest, will be our clipper, with this and a couple of vortexes around the region conspiring to give us a little bit more snow that will develop and overspread the region on Tuesday morning and last through Tuesday evening. And some of that may mix with a little bit of rain right along the immediate coast, but again, north of 287, west of 287, north of Interstate 78, right along Interstate 80 into 84 up the Hudson Valley and into New York and Connecticut. That's where that area could be enhanced with a couple of more inches of dry, powdery snow. Here is our 500 millibar pattern going forward. An active northern branch and to some extent a southern branch will get re-energized across this region again later in the week and heading towards the weekend, with bunches of disturbances here in the northern polar jet, and that will be interacting with this feed here across the eastern United States, the subtropical feed, and that's going to mean quite a lot of active weather for the next couple of days. And also it's going to mean that we're going to see another enhancement with more trouble coming up this weekend. Any flight delays that we had earlier in the Newark, New York City, Philadelphia area are all gone, so the delays in the flights are on schedule and on time, which is a good thing. Getting back to normal here at 2 o'clock this afternoon at Newark. Temperature's 39 degrees after a very rough 24 hours. The wind is out of the west at 16 knots. It's overcast with a few clouds at 2,000, broken ceilings at both 3,000 and again at 15,000. And they had a snow total there of about 3 inches recorded at the airport. The wind chill is 30. We're looking for some scattered clouds at 25,000, some scattered 4,000 to 25,000 the rest of tonight into early tomorrow morning. And we're going to have some gusty winds out there out of the west-northwest at 15, gust up to 26 miles an hour. That's going to make the wind chills feel much colder than that. And by tomorrow afternoon, we should have a lighter wind out of the west at about 10 knots with a few scattered clouds at about 25,000 feet. As we get down to the Philadelphia area, they've recorded basically some broken clouds at 3,500, broken clouds at 8,000. Temperature is a lot warmer there than it was over the last couple of days. 43 in Philadelphia now, dew point 29, wind northwest 17, gust to 29. And the weather is generally fair. We're expecting again some scattered clouds later tonight, broken ceilings this afternoon, and some scattered high clouds at 25,000 feet or so tomorrow in the morning and in the afternoon, with the winds out of the west and northwest becoming more westerly in the afternoon and dropping down from about 10 knots or so, and generally VFR conditions. Forgot to turn the mic back on with that. Here's our latest afternoon surface chart, courtesy of weatherrowandoak.com, and Digital Atmosphere Software shows another Arctic boundary slipping across the region tonight, reinforcing the winds and cold temperatures over fresh snowpack. So tonight's going to be a bone-chillingly cold night, and everything obviously that's still frozen will remain frozen for the next 24 to 48 hours or so. We have another clipper developing across the upper Midwest that will spread snow across the region too, beginning early Tuesday morning. Once again, going to use the CMC model. That's Environmental Canada's main model here. They have a couple of global models and regional models as well. This is one reference of them, and this will show the precipitation type as we go into the future once again. I want to focus on this disturbance here and one further out to the west, which will conspire to bring us some snow across the route. As we go into the picture here and move this forward, we can see the clipper diving south and east here across the Ohio River Valley, and this would be during the morning on, on Monday and in the afternoon. And the snow flurries and snow showers across the Ohio Valley will be conjoined with another disturbance here across the Great Lakes, and these vortexes will be moving into the New Jersey, New York City, Philadelphia metropolitan area very early during the morning on Tuesday before dawn, spreading a swath of light snow across the region. Now this model, and to some extent the GFS model, sees two different vortexes here in the flow. The first one comes through during the early morning into the afternoon hours with enhancement of a southeastern wind here, as we can see in the pressure fields here from off the ocean. That could bring some changeover south of Philly, particularly Salem, Gloucester, Camden, counties further south here into Cape May and Ocean County and coastal Ocean County, New Jersey, with some snow mixing with some sleet and or rain during the afternoon. And a second batch moving in across the New Jersey, New York City metro area during the afternoon hours and continuing into the evening hours. It could be several inches of snow again, maybe 2-4 inches of snow, not out of the question outside of New York City. A little bit of warming here along the coastal plain and once again south and east of Long Island here on the South Shore. North Shore could still be all snow. Again, and we're looking for a couple of inches. This is a fast-moving clipper. There's another system behind it, but that one will begin to die out as high pressure begins to build in across the region. And as we move through the forecast during the day on Wednesday, during the morning, we still find an enhancement of another low here across the Great Lakes. It's a clipper and still providing some snow across the region even early on Wednesday morning. If this one is to be true, it's very similar to the GFS showing the 2. Then high pressure begins to build in with a southwesterly flow aloft and warming conditions by the weekend, but this is where things get interesting too, because another Arctic front will be moving towards the region. We can see the enhancement of this with low pressure developing and moving across the upper Great Lakes, with most of the moisture associated with it remaining to the north and west through Friday. As we head into the weekend, this cold front will come through the region, I don't think we can go that far out yet. This would be for Friday. This cold front will then go through the region on the northern end. The southern end will get stalled out, and another low will move up and along it over the weekend, which could be problematic. Here's the GFS showing the same kind of thing from this morning's run. We can go through this now. Here's our clipper developing across the upper Great Lakes, picking up moisture from off of the Great Lakes and driving it south and east towards the Ohio Valley, as high pressure over the top in the mid-Atlantic and northern New England states begins to retreat further offshore. And here comes clipper number 1 with snow developing very early on Tuesday morning, possibly being enhanced by the ocean here with a little lighter rain and southeast flow right along the immediate coast. Interior sections, as I mentioned. And here's where the GFS gets interesting again, because it shows a second separate disturbance moving through the Great Lakes and then gets enhanced once again as it reaches the coastal waters on Wednesday morning. So we could get a lull in the precipitation later Tuesday evening, and then another little swath of very light snow could break out again very early in the morning on Wednesday before that just moves out into the ocean. High pressure then builds in with a warming trend for the rest of the week, and we can see the front move through with low pressure here, and the front is definitely going to be moving through the region early on Saturday morning, and the front may stall out a little bit with a little bit of antifrontal precipitation and another colder Arctic air mass building in right behind it. We could have a little light rain switching over to light snow once again, and this would be on Saturday morning as the front comes through. Then high pressure once again builds into the region. Here's another clipper showing up on the modeling. This would be for Sunday, December 22nd. This would be next weekend and Sunday. Again, another mixed bag of precipitation with snow to the north, rain and sleet to the south again across the region. Obviously, we're way too far in advance to get specific here, but this is what the model precipitation type is showing. And then high pressure just begins to rebuild across the region prior to and on Tuesday, December 24th, which is Christmas Eve day. And then Christmas itself right now is looking pretty stormy as well. We could have another system, a very strong system across the south of Hudson's Bay, Canada, and southeastern Atlantic Canada as well. And that will spread in a lot of warmth and rain. We could have a rainy Christmas day around here, and that's about as far out as the model goes at 240. So that's just some Sunday preliminary thoughts here, ramblings here at the Weather Center. For Garden State Weather and GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com, I'm forecaster Robert Smith. We'll be back with our normal video forecast discussion bright and early on Monday morning. Thanks for listening.